renowned patron of these bloggers, but that does not mean that I cannot be critical of bloggers. I have my own ideas. And the reason why I take blogging is because, as usual, I find that I cannot communicate. I could not communicate with the people for a very long period of time. So I resorted to joining the enemy. And then, of course, I had my say. But then there should be a degree of responsibility on the part of bloggers. We should have this sense of responsibility, because only then can we stay and be accepted by the public, because what we say is true, or at least we think it is true, or it is nearly true. So you can say quite a lot of things in your blog. I find this quite a relief, because sometimes we find that the mainstream media are quite sycophantic, even if not being willing to criticize, even though they are allowed to criticize. They believe that they should support the current government all the way. And it would appear as if they are part of the government. They are always praising the government. And the general impression is that it is the government which is forcing them to be supportive of the government, to be sycophantic. But actually, they feel that this is their role, and they do not like to criticize the government. They think that it is not for them to criticize the government, and so the government sometimes get lopsided views about what the public is thinking, and they think that they should self-censor, and as a result, of course, it gives the impression that it is the government which is censoring them. It is not really the government. It is their attitude in terms of their role as the mainstream media. They will support you when you are in power, and then, of course, sometimes you don't stay in power forever. Of course, I would have liked to be in power until death do us part. But I found out that when I stepped down and lost my power, they switched their loyalty to my successor, to my detriment. It's all right to be supportive of whoever is in power, but is it necessary that you should be nasty to the people you used to praise before? But I found that since I was no longer in power, anything I say was not printed, etc. This was done not because the government stopped them, but because they feel that they shouldn't. That as the mainstream media, they should reflect the views of the government and the government only. It was at that time that I decided that I should join the bloggers and write my own piece. This is a system that allows you to say what you like without being censored. Even your grammatical mistakes get read by people. So it is really a free media. We can say what we like. Of course, if you are libelous, then some people might take action against you. But the ability to speak your own mind and be heard by everyone is very exhilarating. However, even though the government may not censor, other people might censor the bloggers. I was censored for 5 years simply because there is, I was sued for libel. And in this country, if you are sued for libel and the case is before the courts, you are not allowed to comment on the matter. So for 5 long years, I was not able to comment on a particular issue because I was sued for that on that matter. The period is very long, 5 years, mainly because when the person who sued the court finds that he is not right, that I was not guilty, he will appeal to the next court. And when the next court also gives the same finding, he will appeal again to the higher court. And then of course he will appeal to a special court. So for 5 long years, I was censored by one man. I don't think it is any fairer for a man to censor you than for a government to censor you. I think the government is more legitimate because they are given the power. But individuals who make use of the courts in order to censor a person, I think something should be done about that. Either the court should expedite matters, or else the court should regard such action as frivolous and throw it out. But in Malaysia, of course, we don't do such thing. We go through the rigmarole until 5 years pass before a final decision is made by the court that you are not liable, that there was no case to answer. By which time, of course, you have been deprived of your voice for 5 years. And on the top of that, I was sued for 100 million ringgit. And when I won, I was awarded cost of 70,000 ringgit. So you see, anybody can go to court and sue you for R1 billion ringgit. And when he loses, he pays only $70,000. That I think is quite unfair. You sue me for $100 million, and if you lose, you should pay the $100 million. I'm hinting this because the Prime Minister is present. So I think that brothers should be treated fairly and justly, but if they step over the line, then of course it is fair that they should face the consequences of their indiscretion. So I'm here as patron of this blockhouse, and I hope that I will be associated with very responsible people, very honorable people who will comment on what is going on around us because they wish to see good things in this country, and all the bloggers of the other countries too would want to see their country better administered in the interest of the people as a whole. So blogging obviously has a role today because, not because there is censorship, but because sometimes people are too willing to be sycophantic and supportive of the authorities without their being told to support the authorities. I think people should once in a while criticize the government. Of course, I'm saying this after I'm no longer in the government. But believe me, even when I was in the government, it was frustrating to find just places for you. But it is equally frustrating when I left the government to find that my voice was not heard at all. So there must be a middle way in which we treat both the government and the people fairly through our blogs. We make comments because we think we can contribute towards the betterment of our own society and our own country, and the world at large. So I hope that I will be able to continue to be patron of this blockhouse, and I hope that the Malaysian blockhouse will always be responsible in their comments, whether on the government or against or for the government. So that is, I hope, that will be, I hope, my role, and I would like to thank the bloggers for choosing me as their patron. Thank you.